Hey guys, I'm back again with another video, and today we're going to be going over how to build your first emergency fund and how to do it in the quickest way possible, because this really is the first step to being financially successful. That way you have money set aside, that way you don't have to take any loans or use your credit cards to cover any large unexpected expenses. But before we start this video, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to all of the new subscribers to this channel. I did have a couple of videos get a little bit more popular, so that brought a lot of new people to the channel. So hopefully you enjoy. I will be making future content on personal finance and business, so hope you enjoy that. And without further ado, let's get started with this video. And just a little disclaimer, I'm no financial expert. I'm just a guy with an educated opinion on this topic. I did do a lot of research to prepare myself for this video on how to build an emergency fund from the actual people who are actually financial experts. But do what you will with my opinions in this video. I'm really just trying to help out everybody by making these YouTube videos. So please be nice in the comments. But really, you're probably asking what an emergency fund is, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's just money set aside for you. That way you don't have to use a credit card or take out a loan to cover any emergencies. Like if you have a medical bill, or if your car breaks down, and we all have had car issues before, most likely, or if you lose your job, it's really best to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. That way you're pretty much covered for any emergency that may happen, and you could just take money out from your emergency fund rather than just use a credit card and get into more debt than you are already in. So that's really all the emergency fund is for. So it's really the first step into being financially successful, and it's always nice just to have that cushion to fall back on. And the first way to build your emergency fund quickly is to set a monthly savings goal. So basically that's just automatically transferring money from your checking account into your savings account, and that'll really speed up the process to building your emergency fund. If you have a certain goal you want to set every month, that just transfers to your savings. And really this number will depend on your income and your circumstances, of course. But really, you're just going to want to try and set as high of a goal as possible. That way you could build your emergency fund as quickly as possible, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. And a lot of banking apps and will actually transfer any money you set within the app, automatically transfer it to your savings. So it's pretty easy thing to do. You just have to really figure out in your budget how much you want to set aside to put into your emergency fund. And the second way to build your emergency fund quickly is to trim down your expenses. So what I mean by that is to spend less money every month. That way you have a little bit of money set aside. That way you could also contribute that to your emergency fund. And this may sound like a simple thing to do, but sometimes the simplest things are the hardest, because it really is difficult to build your emergency fund if you don't trim down your expenses, because a lot of people don't know how much money they're actually spending every month. So the best way to do this is to sit down and create a budget, and then see exactly how much money you spend every month and see the areas in which you can improve. And pretty much everyone can improve on their budget. Like I constantly myself every month try to spend a little bit less on the areas I'm trying to improve on, such as like eating out or buying clothes and just buying miscellaneous items that I don't really need. And that really is a hard thing to do if you've never created a budget before. So what I do recommend is to download the Mint app, which is something that I've been using for a really long time. It's the same company that creates TurboTax, so it's definitely a reliable app. I use it all the time to input all my expenses in. That way I know exactly how much money I spend every month, and it does everything automatically, and it makes it super easy. So I definitely recommend to download that app. Or another alternative is to use Microsoft Excel, which is an app that you can make like spreadsheets and stuff like that. And if you're not really savvy doing spreadsheets, I wouldn't recommend using Excel, just because it is kind of intimidating. But if you are comfortable, you could get really customizable to your specific needs in Microsoft Excel, and you could put your budget in there as well. But yeah, trimming down your expenses, we all could improve on, because we all spend money on things we don't need. So just cutting down expenses could really help you contribute faster to your emergency fund, and build it as fast as possible. That way, you don't have to worry about it anymore. And the third way you can build your emergency fund is to get a side job or a side hustle. And if you combine this with the second way to build your emergency fund, which is to trim down your expenses, then you are seriously going to make a lot more money and save a lot more money. That way you could build this fund a lot more quickly. But basically, you could do pretty much anything to make you any supplemental income. I used to DoorDash and do Postmates and a lot of food delivery. That way I could make more money every month when I was kind of struggling last year. But since I make more money now from my regular job, I don't really need to do any more side jobs. But I do still do YouTube, so I do still make more money from that. So technically, that's my side hustle. But you could pretty much do anything. You could get another job. You could sign up for some of these food delivery apps, or you could do Uber, things like that. Pretty much just anything to make you more money than you already have. That way you can save for your emergency fund a lot quicker. And now for a fourth way to help you build your emergency fund. And this is kind of a bonus one. Not a lot of people really talk about this, but since tax season is coming up, I kind of want to bring this into this video. But it's to basically save your whole tax return and use that towards your emergency fund, because you could really use that money and to help speed up the process a lot quicker, because you do need around 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, which is, a couple thousand to tens of thousands of dollars, really depending on how much expenses you have every month. So having that return, tax return that you get, and just putting that directly into your savings account will definitely help out a lot. I know a lot of people wait for their tax returns, that way they could just spend it on things that they don't need. But if you could really be disciplined and use that tax return and just put it in your savings account and just forget about it, it will definitely speed up the process a lot quicker, along with all the other ways that you are doing to save for that emergency fund in this video. In really no time at all, you're gonna have a fully funded emergency fund. And with that fully funded emergency fund, you could have the peace of mind that you never have to worry about any emergencies that come your way. So if your car breaks down, or if you have a medical emergency, or even if you lose your job, at least you'll know you'll have that cushion from the money that you've already saved previously, and you don't have to really worry about anything, or you don't have to use your credit card anymore. You don't have to take out that loan. And now you could kind of have a little bit more financial freedom to never have to worry about that again. So that's pretty much it for this video. Really, I hope you enjoyed the content and you enjoy the future content that I have for this channel. I know that there's a lot of new people out there, so I really just want to thank you guys again for sticking around. And if you got to this point in the video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and follow me on social media if you want to check out things I'm doing outside of these YouTube videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.